Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I have to do it. No gatekeeping over here, and that is to invite everyone in. Listen, this is the best community on these internet streets, and why shouldn't we want everybody to be a part of it? And listen, if you have been hanging out with us, listening and watching the podcast over there in the comments, and you still haven't subscribed, still not an official member of the community, what you waiting on? It is so easy. Go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit the notification bell too, so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in, and give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis of mine, the beast, the algorithm. Y'all, I keep making progress. I will be back on top. Keep those thumbs up coming. Also, I want to give a big shout out to all of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Listen, y'all always do a great job, and I just want you to know that it really, really, really helps the channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships, and if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have that support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, don't worry about it. It is easy as well. Look down there, find that super thanks button, and go ahead on and click it. And if you do decide to donate to the channel, just know that all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some shout outs. We do have some super thanks. And first up is cool Cat Harlem. Yes, Cat decided to come through. She is the best. She is always coming through. She is so supportive and so wise. She is. If you ever see one of her comments, go and read it, because I'm telling you, she is one of the wisest people. She is. And I'm so grateful that she is a part of this community. So thank you, Kat. Thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for being here. And Patrika Smith came through. Yes, Patrika has been with me for a while. And let me tell you, she never, ever fails to support. She is always supporting. She is always showing that she is down with the read. She is so smart. She's so kind. She's so sweet. And she is so funny. She is. And I am so thankful that she is a part of this community. So thank you, Patrika. Thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for being here. And last but not least is faithful Eugenie. Eugenie is the best. She is so funny. She's so kind. She is so considerate. She is just faithful. She is the best. She is a cornerstone of this community, and I am so grateful for her. I am. So thank you, Eugenie. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for riding so hard for the read. All right, y'all, we're going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. Y'all, I want to give another quick shout out to Cat Harlem, cool Cat, and Patrika Smith and Eugenie. Y'all are the best. Y'all always come through. Y'all always supporting, and it means so very much. So thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank y'all for being here and being a part of this community. Y'all make this community what it is, and it is the best. It is the best on these internet streets. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, I have been on these streets. I have, and it is some interesting things going on. It is the aftermath of Harry and Meghan's tour over there in Jordan, and those flying monkeys are still at the point where they can't get over it, and they're really starting to show. Maybe they're figuring out that they made a huge mistake and they bet on the wrong couple, and they're starting to say it out loud, and we're going to talk about that. And we're going to have a lot of sound bites. Well, I say a lot, but a lot for me, because I don't usually put too many sound bites in my podcast, but I found so many good ones. I did. So we're going to have quite a few sound bites, and we're going to go from there. We have a lot to talk about. We really do. But I'm not going to keep y'all long, but I will keep you entertained. So y'all lock in and let's get started. I'm going to put this up. And look at this. I did not know that Channel 4 was granted an interview. Now, it was a quick interview. I think it was like 3 minutes long or something like that. But they were just thrilled to bits that they got an opportunity to be a part of this news story of Harry and Meghan being in Jordan. And this particular squatty posted about it. This is a repost, and the original post says Prince Harry and Dr. Tedros speaks to Channel 4 News in Jordan. Dr. Petros praised Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex for their donation. And they said that after Harry and Meghan donated to the World Health Organization, other philanthropists and other people started to donate to this great cause because it's a humanitarian cause. You know, I have saw where some people are trying to make it political, and it's not. Human survival is never political. It's not. You do what's right to try to help as many people you can within their circumstance. Harry and Meghan know that they cannot change the Israeli and Palestinian conflict. They did not go there to solve it. They went there to help. I think the focus should stay upon the mission in which Harry and Meghan has laid out. And that is to have some compassion for the people who are caught in this conflict. And I don't see anything wrong or political about that. I'm just saying my opinion. And the squatty that reposted this said, so Channel 4 News was with them on the trip, so they didn't invite British press. Quite interesting. Also, note that Dr. Tedros said that their donation sparked more donations. I am so proud of Prince Harry and Meghan. Me too. Me too. Harry and Meghan are out doing good, important work that actually affects people's lives, not running around trying to find the money shot. No, Harry and Meghan are out here doing good, and everyone around the world is seeing that for what it is now. They are. They are seeing that Harry and Meghan are the best of the best of the best of that family over there. They just are. They're smarter. They're more capable. They are more caring and kind and heartfelt than anybody who has ever came from over there. So I'm just saying, I loved every minute of this 2-day tour. And I'm going to put this one up. This squatty is talking about Harry's little quick interview he had with Channel 4 and how he made sure people understood that he was a humanitarian. He's not there to solve world peace. He is not there to cure all ills of the world. He's there to try to help as much as he can these people who are affected by this humanitarian crisis. That's it. He's not there to call balls or strikes, who's right or who's wrong. He just wants to help the people who have been affected by this. That's all. He is acting as a humanitarian. And what does a humanitarian do? They think about humans, how things are affecting the human condition. He is not in peace talks or anything like that. He is there as a humanitarian about the people, the suffering of the people. This what he said. Prince Harry, just like his mother said, Princess Diana, he isn't a political figure. He is a humanitarian. And I'm so proud of him for taking that bold step to remind people of the humanitarian crisis in the region. Exactly. Prince Harry spoke on the fact that the aid corridors are closed, meaning no food, no medical, no nothing can get through to these people who are suffering, these innocent people who are suffering. Okay? And so, of course, he's going to speak on it. Why wouldn't he speak on it? If you see a child starving, don't you have an opinion about that? You don't necessarily get into the weeds of what's going on and why the child is starving. You just want to feed the child. It's just that simple. That is what a humanitarian focus on. They focus on feeding the child, meeting the need, not what caused it, not all of the political wranglings and whatever else is going on. No, they think about the human suffering. I'm done with it. I cannot with these people. They even had the nerve to ask Harry about Andrew while he was standing up there talking about these people who are really suffering. I mean, that is the reason why I can't with these people. I can't. They're always trying to work an angle, and the angle is nothing but nonsense. And this squatty speaks on the relevance of Harry and Meghan because Harry and Meghan has a global footprint. They do. When they decide to champion a cause, people stand up and pay attention. And this squatty wrote this. It says, if you want to understand or measure Prince Harry's relevance on the world stage, just look how many people plus a nation his 2-minute interview with Channel 4 rattled. Apparently, he's now been invited to see the other side. Yes, they want him to come and see the other side in Israel. This is how relevant Harry is. They don't want him out here championing one side without championing the other one because they know how powerful his global footprint is. You know, they just really fumbled the bag when it came to Harry, didn't they? They really, really did. Because Harry could be out here doing great things for his country. Think about if he was an ambassador, if they had given a government job to the right role. They gave Andrew that government job and he used it for his own self enrichment and to the detriment of the nation. Harry would have been the opposite, and this proves it. And this is the reason why they're so mad, their stomach hurt. They keep holding their stomach and crying because they see what they have lost. And boy, they have lost big when it comes to Harry and Meghan. And they know it. It is really starting to dawn on them. The light bulb over their head is starting to flicker. And it is becoming reality that they have fumbled the bag. And they are starting to say it out loud. I want to play this first clip. It is from Chris Ship with a P and not a T, as Byron would say. And he's pretty much talking about that, talking about the loss of Meghan. And he might as well just say Harry as well, because they lost big, and now it's dawning on them. And I'm gonna put this picture of Chris Ship with a P and not a T up, and we're gonna play the soundbite, and we'll talk on the other side.
I still believe that the royal family is missing the Meghan magic. I know inside it was all turmoil and all the rest of it, but Meghan brought something to that role that none of the other royals could.
And there you have it. The light bulb is starting to flicker on and off. It's starting to dawn on them that they fumbled a major bag here. And the flying monkeys agreeing to go in so hard on Harry and Meghan has failed so spectacularly that they are finally having to come to the realization that they made a mistake. But it's too late now. Harry and Meghan wants nothing to do with them. They have done too much. They have crossed the line too many times. And who in the world would ever want to work with any of them again? I was on these internet streets and I ran into a clip of a panel from the Jeremy Vine show. And one of his questions of the day was, should they allow Harry and Meghan to come back? Should Harry and Meghan be allowed to come back? Something like that. And I just laughed. I cackled. And finally, he took a phone call, and this woman said, why would they want to come back? The question is not if you allow them to come back, but why in HE double hockey sticks would they ever want to come back? And boy, it just shifted the mood on the whole panel. They never even thought about that. They are so brainwashed, so gaslit that they still think that that family is the best thing since sliced bread and everybody should want to be a part of it. In actuality, nobody does. Who would want to be in a den of scorpions? Who would want to live their lives like that? I know that this whole facade is that somehow you live a privileged life when you are a part of that family, but it's not a privileged life. Look at Andrew. I mean, hand to mouth all the time because of the fact that the heir gets everything and it is nothing left for the rest. So you just have to scrounge around for the scraps. And so because of that, it is not such a privileged life after all. Look at Edward and Sophie. Edward and Sophie has this huge house and they don't know at any time if they're going to be kicked out of it or not, because we all know they pay a peppercorn rent. And one false move and they're out. Harry and Meghan owns their property. They might have to work for what they got, but boy, nobody can take it away from them. So I don't understand this, but I digress. Yes, Chris Ship had to come out and say what needed to be said, but it's too late. And this squatty that reposted this said, Chris Ship is fed up with those dry, boring royals. Laugh out loud. Well, all I can say to that is, too bad, too sad, because this is who you pick. These are the people you brought to the dance. Now dance with them. That's all I can say. Dance, dance, dance. Because Harry and Meghan are going to dance somewhere else. And I want to play this particular soundbite. It is from the Pod Save the King podcast, and it is another revelation. Yes, the light bulbs just keep coming on all over Great Britain. It does when it comes to Harry and Meghan. I'm going to put this picture up and then I'm going to play the soundbite and we'll talk on the other side.
The trip to Jordan this week. I've always said that, regardless of what some criticisms will be about our coverage of Harry and Meghan. I've always thought that they could have been an asset to the royal family in a different universe, perhaps a parallel universe if everything had gone to plan. but certainly it did show you how popular they are. They were in Jordan as part of a 2-day tour. They were meeting children at a refugee camp. They went to a hospital. And they were essentially highlighting efforts to supporting these vulnerable communities that have been affected by conflict and displacement. I've been to Jordan many, many times, and the Jordan's taken the most amount of refugees from Middle East countries than any other surrounding nation. And they were there with meeting World Health Organization.
And there you have it again. They are absolutely having to admit that Harry and Meghan are popular. Why? Because when Harry and Meghan show up, the world eyeballs show up. Not so much with Willie and Kitty. I mean, if they maybe stood on their head while they did their engagement, maybe they would get some maybe they would get some publicity, they would get some eyeballs, but other than that, nobody is checking for Willie and Kitty. But they're always checking for Harry and Meghan, and they have to admit it. Like I said, the light bulb is slowly coming on that for one, they did not succeed in their smear campaign of destroying Harry and Meghan. They're more popular than ever, and it was on full display this week. So they can't even deny that anymore. And number two is coming to the realization that you have absolutely chosen the wrong team. Yes, Harry and Meghan has always been able to be an asset, but you chose to ignore it because you thought that you could destroy them. You thought that you had the power of life and death, and if that's what that family wanted, that's exactly what you was going to do, because you thought the shine was with the crown. You didn't know the shine was not with the crown. Harry and Meghan took it with them when they left. I'm just saying. And I want to put this up because I saw this on these internet streets, and the squatters were talking about it, going back and forth about it. And it is from that one-eyed Cyclops. Yes, that Jan Moore. And she is so bitter. She is so bitter. She absolutely, her light bulb is kind of flickering as well. And now she knows that she will never, ever get an interview with Harry and Meghan. They will never, ever pay her any mind. She will never, ever have a career of any kind of consequences, because nobody would ever want to have anything to do with her, because she is poison. She has a poison pen, and it has been on full display when it comes to Harry and Meghan. So she's pretty much ruined. She has to be there at the Daily Fail. And here she is crying and boo-hooing because she chose the wrong team. And the team that she didn't choose is absolutely knocking it out of the park and just thriving, and she cannot handle it. It's almost like watching a wounded animal have a seizure at this point. Yes, that Cyclops is absolutely jerking and having convulsions all over the pages of that Daily Fail rag over there. Yeah, she is absolutely going through some things. And I love it for her. I do. And these squatties are talking about it, saying that not only is she going in on Willie, of course, she got to have her little cheap shots at Harry and Meghan. So, yes, this cockeyed, bad-built, ugly, old, wretched hag had nothing better to do than to cry as hard as she could all over those pages over there. And I love it for her. I do. I mean, can you imagine being that ugly, that wretched, and still cannot win? But I digress. This squatty, she posted a snippet from Jan Moore's article, and she said this, a little snippet from Jan Moore's latest piece, and I can confirm they are not okay over there at the Daily Mail and are letting William the Boar know. Because they really thought Kate and Will was the couple. They really believed that. They had talked themselves into it. They were in this bubble. They couldn't see that the real stars of the family was Harry and Meghan. That is the reason why Willie and Kitty wanted them gone, because they knew, but this old cow, she could not see it because she was blinded by the tradition of it all. She was gaslit by the tradition, the pomp, the circumstance. She thought that that was the shine. No, the shine is actually the people of the family. And when you have people who do not have a shine and who is boring, then this is what you get. You don't get to make money because nobody cares about what they're doing. Boring people do not sell papers. They don't. And she mistakenly believed that the shine was with the crown. Yeah, she believed that. And it turns out not so much. Because it has been with the crown for so long because of Elizabeth II. They had no idea it was the person who had to shine and not the crown. But I digress on that point. But yes, this old hag, this old cow, she's mad. She's real mad. And she's really mad at Willie and Kitty. And this is what the article said, the little snippet of the article, because I did not go over there to read it. I think it's behind a paywall. I have no idea. I will not give them a click. If squatties do not post the link to the archives, I don't read their articles. I do not, because I refuse to give them any of my revenue. But I digress. It says Jan Moore, Meghan and Harry might gloat at the travails of the House of Windsor, but they do so at their own peril. Bitter, 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 bitter. Tell me that is not a bitter Betty. Yes, she absolutely is starting to get it. The light bulb is slowly blinking. That, yeah, Harry and Meghan are the winners in this whole thing. And it is eating her. It is eating her. And I love this for her. I really, really do. And for her to say Harry and Meghan may be gloating, that is nothing but projection. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, she knows Willie and Kitty would be gloating. Fleet Street would be gloating. They would all just absolutely take a bank holiday just to gloat at the downfall of Harry and Meghan. But Meghan and Harry has robbed them of that by thriving and being so successful and showing how popular they are on the world stage. You know that that had to be so painful for those flying monkeys to watch Harry and Meghan in Jordan take command of the world stage and highlight this world humanitarian crisis, bring all the eyeballs. Ooh, I know it hurt. I know it hurt. Because they don't have anybody, and that is including Charles and his horse, can do what Harry and Meghan did this week. For 2 days. 2 days they held the world in their hand. They did. So much so that Israel wants them to come there. That is how much gravitas this couple has on the world stage. And you know that that has to cut deep when it comes to flying monkeys like Jan Moore. You know that really had to be painful to get an article like this. Yes, and I think what she's saying is that they do it at their own peril because they think if they take those titles away, that's somehow going to stop everything. Just like they thought if Harry and Meghan would leave, it was going to stop them. When will these people ever learn that it is best to swim with the current than against it? And they never ever get it. If they would just absolutely be fair to Harry and Meghan and try real journalism, it would be easier for them. They wouldn't have to go through all of this pain and torment because Harry and Meghan are going to continue to be successful. So I don't understand why they're putting themselves through this. And so when they take the titles, if they take the titles, we're gonna get more and more articles like this, and they ain't gonna have nothing else to take. That's what I said. Take them. So you'll shut up. You won't have anything else to say because Harry and Meghan are going to continue to be successful if they have titles or not. But let's get to the snippet. It says Jan Moore, Meghan and Harry might gloat at the travels of the House of Windsor, but they do so at their own peril. William might be a bit of a bore, moaning on about his mental health, often unappealing and never knowingly overselling himself. Woo! And it says, but he does not have his worries to seek. Woo! She went straight for William's neck, didn't she? Called him boring. I am sure that did not go down well over there at Kensington Palace or over there at Forest Lodge. I bet you it is some people who are spitting out their tea and biscuits. I am sure that it is some folks who are getting choked. Yes, they are. That tea and biscuits is getting stuck in their throats. Reading this coming out of the Daily Fail from that one-eyed Cyclops, because she absolutely went in. She did. It says Prince William represents a country and an embattled monarchy, a son who will be the future king, a troubled future, and an uncertain road ahead. Woo! She didn't give him much hope, did she? It says, no wonder he's wandering around looking like a pained thumb. Do y'all think that she is trying to call William a thumbhead? We all know that thumbhead belongs to Tom Sykes. But she definitely said he's walking around looking like a thumb. And then she says, or the Grim Reaper on a day off. Woo! I'm telling you, it says still, I would rather have his miserable face under a crown than the showbiz Sussexes. Sure. Just keep telling yourself that. It'll make you feel better, I know. But we certainly do not believe it because you would not be moaning on about it. Just moaning and whinging about a couple who does nothing but mind their business. They absolutely say nothing to you and nothing about you or that family over there, but y'all constantly have their names in your mouth. I mean, it is so delicious the way this woman actually is moaning and whinging and crying and holding her stomach. She needs to figure out a way to package this because it is too delicious. She could make a living if she figured out how to package this because it is delicious. But I digress. She says, still, I would rather have his miserable face under a crown than the showbiz Sussexes with their oh so concerned looks, their faux passion, and their constant cuddling of each other. That that is a woman who does not have a man and she mad about it. Now, it's plenty of women who do not have a man and just as happily single as they can be. But this broad right here, she want a man. She want one and she mad because she doesn't have one. It is clear. She is mad. She is big mad because she doesn't have what Harry and Meghan have. She's jealous. You can tell. It's envy. It's jealous. It is bitterness just absolutely dripping from this article. And it says, for it's okay not to be okay, as they keep reminding everyone. Well, you seem like you really need to be reminded because you definitely are not okay. Can you believe this woman? It is so funny. And the squatty that reposted this said, I will almost excuse stupid hit pieces on Harry and Meghan so long as the writer goes in on William like this. Because laugh out loud, this is hilarious. It is absolutely a scream. And if one of the squatties posts a archive link to this article so I can go in there and read it without giving them a click, we might revisit this thing. It is hilarious and very, very delicious. Her salty tears absolutely just saturates my palate. I'm just saying. And here is some comments about this particular article from the Cyclops, the one-eyed one. Yes, this squatty said, you know what, I almost don't mind some ridiculous stories on Harry and Meghan as long as they drop gems like this about William. Because what is this, LOL? Well, all I can say about this particular comment is that this squatty is a little more evolved than I am. I am not quite there. Every time they make their little snide remarks about Harry and Meghan, it ain't worth it to me. It is not. That is the reason why I behave in such a manner, because these people have gotten me where I am today. They absolutely never miss an opportunity to take the low road. They don't. So maybe I'll get there, but I'm not quite there yet. And this other squatty said, laugh my A off. I did the math. The negative coverage on William was simply too great to pass up. I really want to read this article. I do. Now, if I run into an archive link for this article, I'm going to read it. And if it's good, I will share. And this squatty commented on this article and said, the Rotorets know that they screwed the pooch on how they treated the Sussexes. Instead of using Harry and Meghan to bolster Willie's shortcomings, they backed the wrong horse. And they must now admit how dumb a bub Willie is. He's dumb as a rock. Yes, that's why we call him future King Dumb as a Rock, because he is dumb as a rock. And it says they are just having a hard time drinking their own vomit. Yeah, and it's not going down very well, especially for the one-eyed Cyclops. I'm telling you, she is bitter. She is so bitter, and I love it for her. I want to put this up. This is from one of my favorite squatties. Her name is Henry the Eighth, and she posted this, and it is so thought-provoking. So I just wanted to feature it in the podcast. This is what she said. She says, so they are facing four existential issues at once. One, popularity was always going to take a nosedive after Elizabeth. Now, we knew this, because the queen was the whole monarchy. But they all thought, just like they thought about Harry and Meghan, they thought they could really do without the queen. We know this because Charles has been trying to climb on that throne for what, 10, 15 years prior to the queen passing? Yes, he really thought that he could be more popular than the queen. They all suffer this delusional thinking. They really do. But the public knew. We knew that after the queen passed away, it was going to be a nosedive in popularity because it wasn't anybody left. Harry and Meghan already had left, and what we were looking at that was left, Willie and Kitty, and that bunch, we knew that it wasn't anybody who was going to carry the ball. Willie and Kitty, they're dull, they don't want to work, and Charles and Camilla, people hate them because of what they have done and how they got on the throne, how he cleared the path for his side piece to become queen. People don't like that. It gives them an icky feeling. Every time I see Camilla climb out of a car and somebody bow to her, it's something just goes over me. It is something just really doesn't sit right with my spirit when I see that. And I know I'm not the only one. So they should have known it was not going to be easy. And they didn't have anybody to rely on after the queen died because they used to hide behind her all the time. And then how are you going to hide when you don't have anybody to hide behind anymore? They tried to hide behind her even after she died, after her death, using her against Harry and Meghan, just always saying, this is what the queen said, this is what the queen said. I never saw the queen talk so much until after she died. She just ran her mouth all the time there for a while. But now that all of this stuff has come out about Andrew, her cloaking for him, taking up for him, paying money for him, knowing that this is what he was doing and still made the decision to protect him, she's not a very likable figure at this time. People are not feeling the queen like they did when she was alive because now we know a whole lot more after her death. And yeah, she wasn't a nice woman. But I digress on that point. So I agree with this squatty. Then it says the staunch supporters are rapidly aging. Yes, because we know the polls show that the young people didn't want to have anything to do with the royal family because they believe in a meritocracy. Yes, they believe in you earn it. Hereditary rule is not something that young people want to support. Who would? It doesn't make any sense. Just because you slip out of a certain birth canal, you're supposed to be the supreme ruler of a nation. You're supposed to be the one that rules a nation just because you were born. So I understand where the young people are coming from. And then it says that they protected a sex predator. Yes, that one right there. And it's coming out more and more and more that they all did. They all did. They closed ranks behind a sex predator. And also they had a convicted pedo just running amok all over the royal properties as if he lived there, as if it was his. He was over at Effingham Palace. He was over to Sandringham at Wood Farm. He was all over the royal properties as if he owned them. I mean, he had the run of all of the royal properties. He was flying in with RAF protection. He was going on military bases, landing his plane. You telling me that this man who is a convicted pedo is doing all this, and you know they all knew. They all knew. And let's not even try to carve out Willie and Kitty because let's not forget, after the money was paid, they still fell in line and cloaked for him. They planted stories saying that they'd rather have him as a neighbor instead of Harry and Meghan. They rode to church with the man. They did. And now Willie is talking about how he's not calm and how him and Kate can't talk. Yeah, if you could talk, who wants to hear what you have to say? Because there's nothing much you can say that our eyes hadn't saw. I'm just saying. They now have Harry and Meghan existing outside of the firm. Yes, and is doing great work and is well respected. If we saw anything this week, we saw how the world respects Harry and Meghan and how the world eyeballs are always honed in on what they are doing. This squatty said all four things they could have handled if they were actually open to proper advice instead of this bulldozing strategy they seem so desperate to hang on to. Even the best players know when it's time to fold. Where is the lie? You have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And they don't know when to fold them, and they don't take advice. I don't know if they don't take advice or if they get bad advice. Their whole staff needs to be fired because these people act as if they don't know anything. Harry talked about them being in a bubble, and I know about groupthink and all of that. But look like somebody would have enough sense to advise these people that they are not who they think they are, and they actually need Harry and Meghan, but it's too late now. It's always been too late because they are a day late and a dollar short every time. They were with Diana and now they are with Harry and Meghan. They are doomed. Let them go on down the drain. They need to slip on down the drain because they are a waste of time and space. All right, y'all, I want to play this little sound bite. This is a TikTok, and I'm telling you, when I heard it, I was like, this one right here is nothing but the gospel. Yes, I almost started to shout. So I'm going to put this picture up and play the sound bite, and we'll talk on the other side.
Imagine being more angry that Harry and Meghan met with medical evacuees in Jordan and played soccer with kids at a refugee camp for displaced Syrians than the fact that the former queen and much of the monarchy have been complicit for decades in a greedy, obnoxious, entitled former prince's despicable behavior because he thought he was untouchable. He had children trafficked to him, and his ex-wife, the former Duchess of York, took the two princesses to celebrate the release of a child sex offender from prison. And you're worried that Harry and Meghan are using their influence to bring awareness to refugees and an ongoing humanitarian crisis? And Andrew's falling apart at the seams because after decades of profiting off of his title and having the British taxpayer pay for his happy endings, he's stuck with only two servants, has had to downsize to a 5-bedroom home on the Sandringham estate that his brother, the king, is paying to renovate, and won't be allowed to go horseback riding anymore. And this was the problem all along. Harry and Meghan, who are actually concerned about doing good in the world, were too good for the royal family, whose biggest concern is their continued survival.
Is she not a queen? Is she not a queen who is speaking nothing but facts? I could not. I had to share. She just took it and put it in a nutshell and made it really, really simple and quick. This is who these people are, and Harry and Meghan has always been too good for them. Harry, before he met Meghan, was just too good for that family. Harry said he never felt like he belonged in that family. And you know what? He was right. He never did. He never did. And I just love the way this particular person, she's not a squatty, I don't think, but boy, is she good. I could not, I'm telling you, I tripped over the rug getting to her follow button. Yes, I was trying to find her to follow her because she is absolutely quick, fast, and in a hurry when it comes to facts. She is. These people are trash. They are. And the people who cloak for them, who take up for them, who absolutely pretend like Harry and Meghan is the problem still, those people right there are evil to the core. The squatty that posted her said, like, make it make sense. Imagine being more angry over Meghan and Harry humanitarian efforts than the recent revelations regarding the decency with the royal family. And you know what? They are. They are. And that is the reason why I behave in the manner that I behave. I was on my walk today and I was saying to myself, thinking about my podcast and everything, what I was going to talk about and what names I was going to call people and how messy I was going to be. And I had to laugh a little bit. I had to chuckle. I had to cackle because in the end, they made us like this. We used to be people who would take the high ground. And we had to learn that sometimes you had to get dirty if you were going to wrestle with a pig. Yes, and they are that muddy, nasty pig. So we have to be willing to get dirty to wrestle with them. And so that's why I was laughing. Yeah, this lady right here shows you exactly how dirty they are. And if you intend on wrestling with them, you have to get a little dirty too. And I have never had a problem with doing that. Y'all, I digress. But I want to play y'all one more soundbite from this young lady. She is so terrific and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to put the picture up and we'll talk on the other side.
The real crime that the Duchess of Sussex has committed is that she's more like Diana than Kate is, because Diana used her fame to bring awareness to issues that the world didn't want to talk about and that the palace did not want royals touching. Literally, issues like HIV/AIDS, leprosy, and landmines. Her warmth and genuineness meant that her popularity exploded, overshadowing the monarchy, the queen, and her husband, the future king. And we all know how much future kings hate to be upstaged by charismatic women who marry into the royal family. It's not my intent to denigrate the Princess of Wales, but there's no denying that her commitment to duty and tradition over candidness, spontaneity, or happiness puts her far more in line with the royal family than Meghan or Diana. And the real irony is that the very people who could probably save the royal family from obscurity are the ones that they exile because they're not like them. But all of this is to say, if you are still so angry that somebody you'd see in the tabloids married somebody that you'd see on television 8 years ago, that you go on the internet every day to make hate comments on slowed down videos of her blinking, you probably have Meghan derangement syndrome.
All I can say is preach on, amen, hallelujah. I mean, did she not knock that out of the park? Y'all know I have been saying this since forever. That is the reason why they're so mad. Meghan is more like Diana and they know it. They know it. And that is the reason why they hate on her so much. Because that was supposed to be Kate. It was supposed to be Kate. William was supposed to marry someone like his mother, but evidently he didn't get the memo. He went for the honeypot and got the dumbest person equal to him in dumbness. Yes, and then Harry goes and marries someone like his mother, and they lose their SHIT. This young lady is absolutely right. And that part about the Megan deranged syndrome, that ate. That just absolutely ate because it's so true. If you are mad 8 years later after a woman you saw on television married a prince that you never knew in the first place, and you still go online every day to create hate content, and that was 8 years ago, and you still are online making hate content about her, slowing her videos down. Woo! I'm telling you, this is the reason why we say seek help, get medication, understand that it's something wrong, go outside, touch grass, because you are deranged. You are. I love this. I love this, y'all. This was so good. I hope she comes out with more and more and more. And if she does, I will be the first to platform it on my podcast. And I'm going to change gears a little bit because I want to post this. This is about the NAACP, and it says at the 57th annual NAACP Image Awards, Archwell Philanthropies joined the NAACP in celebrating visionaries who use their voices, their platforms, and their expertise to create a more just and compassionate world. This is an award that Harry and Meghan gives out every year. I think they created this award within the NAACP back in 2020. Am I not correct on that? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, I just love this. I love that Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan, is working with her community to just recognize people in her community that is doing good and promoting democracy. I did see that in their speech. They gave like a speech, a video speech, and presented the award. So, yes, I saw that, and it was just really, really lovely the way Harry and Meghan put it. Because, yeah, we need more good people out here fighting for democracy because democracy is in trouble. And this squatty posted this picture of Harry and Meghan giving the speech and presenting the award. And look at them, they look so good. And this is a repost. And the original post says, the Sussexes, Prince Harry and Meghan, 2026 NAACP. And the squatty that reposted this said, I can listen to these two speak all day. Amazing. And if you hadn't heard their speech, just go online and Google Harry and Meghan NAACP 2026 and it will pop right up. Yes, I love it. And y'all, I'm going to put this up. Looks like Edward's old girlfriend is preparing to write a book. What y'all think about that? And as you can see, this was in the Telegraph. It says Prince Edward's ex-girlfriend to write tell-all memoir. Do y'all think anything juicy is going to be in this memoir? Edward is so boring. He really, really is. But his name came up in the JE files. He did. And they are really trying to keep that on the low low. But I will never let that one go. We're going to see exactly how that shakes out because y'all know in the JE files, a 13-year-old girl dropped a dime on him and said he was over there on JE's island. So I don't know. I don't know if his girlfriend has some info that she wants to share. Now, the person who posted this said Ruthie Henall found Prince Edward's old love letters in her garage. Tea with the Queen, palace visits, now a memoir. Another royal relative cashing in on palace gossip. This is the family we're funding. Screw Republic, 1992 call. It never left. I don't know what that means, but it looks like this person is not happy with that family. But all I can say is I wonder how Sophie feel about this. But like I said, it might be a little more juicy than we anticipated because he did get that dime dropped on him. He did. And he absolutely is so, so boring. The only time Sophie and Edward are entertaining to me is when they're out on an engagement and she tries to touch him and he recoils. He does. He behaves the same as Willie. I don't know. What is it about these Windsor men and their wives? After a few years, they don't want them touching them. And it is so funny. You know, Sophie is just like Kitty. Very, very performative. Always looking for the money shot. But Edward and Willie just absolutely will not have it if they have to get the money shot with them touching them. So yeah, I look forward to seeing some excerpts from this book. I wonder if anything in it is juicy. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this The Daily Mail caught Eugenie on the streets of London. Yeah, she hadn't gone anywhere. She's not in Portugal or anywhere like that. She's over there in Kensington Palace, over there in, I think they have like an apartment or something in Kensington Palace. Yeah, she's still living on royal property and in London. And when this person from the Daily Mail approached her, she answered, I think, one question about her mom. She did not want to answer anything about her dad. I saw the video, and boy, did she scurry in one of those buildings. And people did not know her from a can of paint. That family is in trouble because people are so indifferent to them that they don't even really know them. I don't think past Charles and his horse and Willie and his mannequin wife that the people of Great Britain even know who these people are. They don't. Now they know who Andrew is. But other than that, they didn't even act like they cared anything for her or anything. She was just out and about walking around looking at her phone. And the squatty that posted this said Fergie's email to JE discussing Eugenie's sex life when she was 19 just dropped in 3 million pages of files. Mom now hiding in luxury spas across Ireland and Switzerland. But sure, business as usual, just another normal family we're funding. People are just mad about that part. And yeah, they just said in this article that business as usual for Eugenie. Just walking around saying Princess is spotted out in London again after her father's arrest, as her mother Fergie's whereabouts remain a mystery. Now they'll say they found her and then they'll say it's a mystery. I mean, I don't know and I do not care, but I just found this interesting. Y'all tell me what y'all think. She just walking around. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everybody is indifferent to this family. They are in trouble. And I want to put this up. This is my last one, and I just think this squatty just says what needs to be said. Y'all know I love to end with positivity. And this squatty says this. While they go low and continue to sink, the Sussexes rise higher and higher. We will always stand by Prince Harry and Princess Meghan Markle. Harry and Meghan are living proof that love, integrity, and purpose don't need permission from a crown. Where is the lie? All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.